remember the Easter egg hunts tonight? And I said, hey guys, Easter egg hunts that night. And Greg says, who hunts eggs on Thursday? Brandon.
I can't be
And
there.
at night?
I make a motion.
They do it like
I make a motion that we come out of executive session.
Second.
All right. Motion come out of executive session, Mr. Wilcox. Second, Mr. Bishop. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are out of executive session.
Well, Walter's not here, but when do y'all want to talk about us kind of formalizing our plan, what we want to do on landscaping out in front of our multi-purpose facility?
Well,
Can I make one statement?
Yes, sir.
I went ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and do it in the flower beds. You're talking about the very front, right?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
we're going
I'm
to-
just talking out by the road.
yeah, that's fixing to say if we're gonna do flower beds, it probably should have already been done, ready to go now, pretty much,
They're
right?
Working on,
Good.
start next week.
Good.
Oh, and something else I want y'all to know on the floor, just to get my, I know inmates are staying the floor under the supervision of, the guy that knows what he's doing, and then, Elaine Lewis that works for me over here, she has
Yeah.
a degree in, botany or whatever it is, but anyway, she's over the landscape.
Good.
So,
Good.
Inmates are doing all the work on that, so.
I was wondering who was doing it. Inmates are?
I think you
We're
may
under
be,
supervision of somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Okay.
what is Elaine Lewis, what does she do for you?
She's a secretary over at the, receptionist at the sheriff's office, but her degree, she got her degree in.
Botany?
I think Botany, I think.
Hmm.
And she knows plants, man.
I bet.
Huh.
Her. Well,
What
there's
else we
two
got?
things I'd like for us to do. One is to get moving on doing the landscaping, whether we just want to get to the point where we find out how much it's gonna cost us, what we wanna do, but let's get off of dead stop and move that direction.
What'd you say, Brian, something about the entrance you wanted to, going into the FEMA building? You wanted to leave that like it was, or what?
No, that's totally up to y'all. We were just talking about a gate. If you
Yeah.
don't want the expense of the fence up there, unless you just want it for looks, the ditches will keep cars from driving through and everything. But where I have the gate set up, you can't drive around and get in there. But the ditches are definitely going to be smoothed out and leveled out and everything like that. But after that, you might, if it's level enough, we may need a fence up there. But that's totally up to y'all what you want to do.
Okay.
Now, I think when we talked about last though, I think you were wanting to keep those gates closed most of the time and have all the traffic go through
You
the
got
other
18
one.
wheelers pulling in there, you got horse trailers coming in under,
Yeah.
tear that out. I'm trying to save that parking lot the best.
So our main
Right.
entrance will be the other one. Like if we were to do some arches, somebody drive under
Right.
a nice entrance.
So you're talking
Yeah.
about mainly just the entrance itself?
Yeah,
part
the
of it.
front of it.
Yeah.
Just putting up like what that gentleman had here, that iron fence along
Right.
the front with a nice entrance.
If you put the arch is getting quite a bit of money, and it's gotta be a tall arch, just in the event, let's just say, you had emergency vehicles.
Or maybe not an arch.
You could,
Yeah.
you could use a structure like that to control what comes in there. If you imagine
In the front.
a clearance that's not significant, maybe a 10-foot clearance, then obviously you can control the fact that there won't be any 18-wheelers coming
Well-
through
You talking about the storm room?
there. Yes,
In front
on
of
the
there.
FEMA side.
Yeah, but the thing I'm thinking about, would it
What if
be
you-
some point in time, you won't need it be
Well, if you
higher,
need a
what if,
fire truck or something
power
like that.
company or something needed
Yeah.
a stage there
Or-
for emergencies?
Emergency vehicle response,
Yeah.
FEMA staging area, et cetera, et cetera.
You have to have at least,
Yeah.
you'd have to have at least a 14.
We may want to be careful with
Yeah.
that. But I was just thinking, control clearance, but.
So how can we
You
get
wouldn't- you could-
going on this?
You could do it without an arch, though. You could do just nice column pieces with a gate and
I
leave
mean,
the arches
I
completely
know
off.
we're not gonna spend the money this budget year, but I'd like to at least find out what we need to spend so we can budget it for next year.
Are you thinking about like an RFP, Jay?
No?
Okay.
Well, I mean, to select an architect to do the design, I wouldn't. It's gonna be such a small job, but to actually do the work, we'd probably have to do an RFP. Or would we? Or could we just hire a fence company to come do it?
What I
No,
was
we'd have to.
thinking was, this is going to be something that a landscape company
Yeah.
could do. And with it being a mixture of design and product,
Yeah.
my thought was you just go out.
Do an
to
RFP for all of
for
them?
all of that.
Okay.
Well, it depends on what you're gonna do. If you're just gonna build brick columns and all,
That-
and leave off the arch. The only arch is gonna get expensive, and it's gonna have to, I kinda hate to leave it restricted to
Well, you don't necessarily have to have an
clearance.
arch. I just was thinking of some nice entrance, man.
Yeah,
Just
well,
making
you
it look
could build
good.
big, nice concrete, brick.
Yeah.
And those are services, at least my experience is, those are services that the larger landscape outfits,
Yeah.
they do all of that.
Yeah, we don't have a good brick mason staying with us for a while.
I need a plumber worse than I need anything.
That shouldn't be too
We're
hard.
looking for one now.
Yeah, if you pull one over, sometimes say, hey,
Yeah, yeah.
you a brick mason?
Yeah. Drop a bag in there. Oh,
What's your
oh.
talents? What are your skills?
Yeah. Hey,
Move on.
Can I make a suggestion though? If we're gonna do the front of the stone, why don't we just go ahead and go on down from the whole of our, just so Brandon don't say nothing down the road, there's no issue down the road. Let's go ahead and do both entrances.
That's what I'm saying. Do the whole front.
Match
Whole
it.
frontage right there.
Yeah.
To
From
match
property
it.
line to property line. Because they're gonna put their fence all the way around on three sides, so we need to put ours on the front to just go fence to
What's
fence.
the timeline on the fence? Does anybody know?
There's not a timeline. They're gonna be in charge of putting together a proposal to fence it, and then our responsibility is to kick in a max of 35.
Which I think
But
they're
they're
gonna
in
be
control
balking
of
on
that.
that.
Sir?
I think they're gonna be balking on that. Well, they got plenty of money, so they can do it.
You guys said very clearly, it's a max of 35, not to exceed.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So,
Right.
and they are responsible for figuring out where it's gonna go, what it's
So
gonna look like.
you think a
when it's
landscaping
done.
company could?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they can.
All right.
Yes, sir.
They got like their
Do
own
they give us some
architect.
renderings and whatnot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
I was just thinking an RFP, you'd probably get 4 or 5 responses from
Jeff Code.
Jeff Coat, you got some
larger
local,
Yeah.
landscape
I-
oriented companies. You're
Yeah.
gonna get some
Okay.
response.
yeah, you got some local ones that can put that stuff together.
You'll probably
pretty
get local wind up
Yeah.
doing it, yeah.
I mean, we've got some of those.
Shane Carter does it.
Shane, yeah.
Carter and Gardner.
So that, I would just like to get it moving down the
Those
road
guys
so we,
over there on 471.
because it's gonna be hard for them to come up with an RFP. We gonna have to have some idea what we want first, right? To do an RFP on.
Sure.
Yeah, obviously, I would need to look at other examples of RFPs on similar projects. What's in my head right now is that it would be, basically, it would include the entirety of that front elevation on that building, with the understanding that we're looking for decorative entry. We're looking for plant material, we're looking for elements of landscape design, all of that.
Okay.
Well, now, some of these fence companies can give you, if you tell them kind of what you're looking for, they can usually pull up pictures or something you can go by to get an idea of what you want to do.
And since it's an RFP, there is a significant amount of discretion. Board can say, we like this, but it's too much.
Yeah.
Go back and cut that down. And when I say too much, I mean visually
Right.
it's too much,
Right.
too busy,
Yeah.
and it costs too much.
Right. Yeah.
So you can refine it from there, and you'll be free to use any of the responders, because it's not a bid process.
Okay.
Be
All
be aware of maintenance.
That's the key to it is you gotta,
Well, we got an expert here on the board that can help us with that, so.
and also if you're gonna do irrigation or if you're just gonna be non-irrigated and stuff like that, if it's gonna be, so there's certain things you gotta look at. If it's not,
No
then you're
doubt.
gonna have somebody watering, so,
Yeah.
maintenance friendly.
Yeah.
You got those inmates from water, can't
Yeah,
But no, irrigation, you're right.
Lauren, I don't know if y'all remember, but I had money left over in my budget, well, I actually bought the mowers and we
Yeah.
have the stuff.
Do we have-
We've already cut the grass. down
sprinkler
there.
system.
Do we have a water truck?
Yeah, you get that big old water truck.
But
that you
Okay.
went
you're
down
right,
the ring
Ray,
there.
you'll need a sprinkler
Good.
if you need it.
Okay.
Depends on your flower beds.
Right.
No irrigation would be required.
Good.
That cuts it down.
Yeah, it cuts it down a lot.
But what kind, Jay, what are you thinking about? Like, what do you envision as the fence across the front? Like something wrought iron?
Yeah, that's all I was thinking, some wrought iron, maybe some brick columns along, you
Need
know,
to
every
be,
so often
yeah,
or something.
Big
you
brick
know?
columns with a,
With a
Kind of decorative
larger
piece on top.
entry column,
Something, yeah.
a larger entry column.
mhm.
And each one would probably need, one needs to say probably FEMA, the other one needs, or the shelter, and the other one multi-purpose. Some signage, some way to identify what's what.
When if we're gonna do it, let's might as well go ahead and light them up, so we won't have to run electricity down there anyway, because we need some kind of warning light out there to mark it during when it is open.
Yeah.
Some kind of emergency light, we can just incorporate the light with the signs with that.
You almost do that with solar, possible.
Yeah.
I'll get with the sheriff on digital signage.
Yeah, Sheriff Bailey.
Oh, we just get one of the air signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
They'd love that, wouldn't they?
Hey, Butch.
Yeah.
What up?
All right. Do we have anything else?
Next meeting, I want to talk about debt collection.
Okay, I
Okay.
got something. Rankin County Republican Party needs, I guess what they need is a national rodeo discount type scenario. They, requested by public records request, information from Tanya as the election commissioner. Poll worker address, poll worker phone number, so that they can start calling all the poll workers to get them lined up for the election this year. Well, Tanya came back at $400 to $500 in cost.
What?
And that was probably just an estimate because they have nothing, they have to build
Right.
records, so it would be very time consuming.
For a
So-
poll worker list?
They said they have no, they don't have it stored anywhere. They don't.
Well, how do they keep up with it?
Each individual election commissioner has their own poll worker for their district sort of compilation. I
Right.
was told that some of that is kept in a cell phone. It's not reduced to a document.
See, they have a document they turn in after each election to Maria that the people are gonna be paid by. I would assume that they would keep a copy of that and keep it in a binder,
Yeah.
but they said they don't. They turn it in.
Well, can we not
to
produce
us.
that?
We can, but it's time consuming
That's what
because
we're
we have
talking
to
about.
pull.
We
the-
don't have phone numbers on them, though.
Yes.
We do?
But we have to pull the records first, which is time consuming, whether they might not be located here, they might be at Region 8 storage, or they might be at VRC, the storage place we use.
Either out here. or
We have to pull those, then Maria has to go through, make copies, redact information,
Socials.
and to get socials out to leave them only with addresses and phone number.
I got
I
you.
don't have no, but it will be time consuming.
Because it's not like she can go in and pull the file, you have a claim to in front of each
Yeah.
claim.
And only certain people can touch those files.
They
I did
got a
know
list
that.
of
That's
poll
exactly
workers,
right,
man.
because
I
if we
got a
get those things
printout.
out of order or lose documentation, we're
I know, and
screwed.
I would hate to get
I
blamed
got
for
a printout
that.
of poll workers.
What is being asked of you
He
is
he
whether
has two today.
it's permissible for us, in light of the request, to deviate from our standard Public Record Act request policy that provides for $20 per hour
And
of
50
the
cents per
time
page.
necessary to compile that information. Still charge the 50 cents per copy, but are you guys comfortable with us quoting the Republican Executive Committee? And if the Democrats want the same information, they will be entitled to the same procedure.
Yep.
Are y'all comfortable with us deviating from that so that we don't recover necessarily $20
Well,
per
let me ask you this, if the poll worker list is gonna be the same, so once you do it, it can go,
Either to either party?
Yeah.
So, are we just giving up on election commissioners providing a list then?
They have indicated they will put together a list, but our policy says we don't start working on it until we
We get
have
paid.
confirmation that you have prepaid what we have given you as the estimate.
Okay.
The executive committee does not want to write a check for $500 to
Oh,
the
so,
election commissioners.
so the election commissioners are gonna come up with it.
No,
They won't
not
have
until
to.
you get a check.
If you authorize our folks, Maria, to compile that information.
What if I wanna authorize us to only, to charge $20 and have the election commissioners do it?
Because you are not the repository of that information, it's not you controlling that document, it's them.
So,
So
Yeah.
God, dog, man,
we're not gonna tell them what to do.
jeez.
Now,
Hey.
if what I understand correctly, Craig, and correct me if I'm wrong, the original request election commissioners were for several years, but I've been told that those same names are all large and verified.
Well, there
for
could be
year or
a
two.
very small deviation of
Yeah.
name, somebody not moved and not working it again, but it could be from just the last
Yeah.
large one, and that would give the
We would
names.
limit our response to the 2014 election cycle.
Right.
To keep Maria from having to go through twice as many boxes.
That's just stupid that we're having to do that, knowing they got a list.
Each one of them's got a list, have to have a list that they
Absolutely
go
they
back
do.
to.
Yeah.
Just to call to see if you and you want to, and there's
Yeah,
a
I
couple
got a
extras over
printout of
there.
the ones who worked in my district. I know they got a list. At least in District 5 there
Maybe in
is.
yours, but
It's got, I mean, they gotta have, they don't,
And he's the worst one of the group, so.
recordings on.
Well, I mean, he's just not computer-oriented fella, so.
Lord, keep going.
That is rough.
All right,
Are y'all okay with us quoting them a figure that is a reasonable cost to compile that information?
Well, let me ask a question. The other day, it came to me from Tanya, and I think you called Tanya. So what did she say? Was she?
She said that they would be glad to put together the list, compile the list, but they expect it to be paid.
$500.
So, at
That was her
time-
It's 400 to
At
500
that time,
estimate.
when I talked to her, she did not give an
no,
estimate.
she didn't.
I told her, this is the process for complying with the Public Record Act
Right.
policy. You come up with a cost to produce the records and give that information to the requester and explain to them that under our policy, it requires prepayment.
So do we need
She
to set a
did that.
fee for y'all to
Well,
come up with it then?
Now let me ask you a
What do
question
we
too.
need?
Then, if
Yes,
we
they'll have to prepay us too.
if we do that, and we inflame and we
We have that same information.
right, but
So
wouldn't all of a sudden
we will need, the Republican Executive Committee will need to send either me or Ms. Laura or Ms. Janice a
Right.
new Public Record Act request policy for the same information. They're not required to only work through the election commission.
Right.
They can work through any government agency
Government
that
agency
actually
together.
has the
Right.
information. We have it. We can provide it.
Okay.
We would have to charge them $20 per hour for the service unless you guys authorize us to deviate from that and charge a lesser amount.
right.
So do we set the amount right now?
I would like some direction on that. What shall we tell the executive committee that would be an appropriate amount?
Well, I think we need to come up with a list anyway, so. I
And
mean,
then we can
I-
sell it to the election commissioners.
Well, I'm just saying, I think for future reference, we probably need a list anyway. So,
Are y'all comfortable with us charging them $20 plus whatever the cost of reproducing the copies is?
Yes.
At 50 cents a page?
yes.
Which if we're only gonna do that 1 year, it won't be anything like what.
Brian, you go ahead.
Just charge them for copies.
Are y'all okay with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
All right.
fine with that.
Do we need to make a motion on
I
that?
would prefer that we not even have a motion on it.
Oh,
I would
okay.
prefer
Okay.
that y'all just direct us to do that, direct
All right.
your staff to charge the Republican Executive Committee $20 plus 50 cents a page.
Okay,
We'll ask them to prepay that to us,
All right.
and we'll be done with it. We'll get it
Okay.
together and move on.
all right. So, all right. That
Brian,
being
you coming
said,
tonight?
I have a motion to recess and we're gonna recess and reconvene
Yeah.
tonight, 6
Tonight
o'clock.
at 6 p.m. So moved.
You want to text
Second.
Gary?
Motion,
Because you're
motion by Mr.
changing-
Wilcox,
Changing
second
Jay.
Mr. Bishop.
years.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. 2014, because he had gone back to 2011.
Yeah, we'll make sure he understands.
And